Imagine waking up one morning to absolute chaos. The world outside your window looks the same, but something feels off. Your phone buzzes with a flood of notifications, but none of them make sense. Social media is ablaze with confusion, and the news is reporting a digital disaster unlike anything we've ever seen. Your bank account is empty, not just low, completely wiped out. You frantically refresh the page, hoping it's a glitch, but the numbers don't change. Your savings, your paycheck, your emergency fund, all gone in an instant, and you're not alone. Millions are facing the same nightmare. ATMs are spitting out confetti instead of cash. People line up, desperate for answers, but the machines just blink and whir, mocking their frustration. The financial system, once so reliable, has become a circus of errors. Traffic lights blink erratically, turning the morning commute into a demolition derby. Cars honk in confusion, intersections become battlegrounds, and public transport grinds to a halt. The city's pulse is thrown into chaos, and no one seems to know what to do. Hospitals are plunged into darkness, life-saving equipment rendered useless. Doctors and nurses scramble to help patients, but without power or digital records, every second becomes a matter of life and death. Families wait anxiously, hoping for a miracle. This, my friends, is not a scene from a low-budget disaster movie, but a glimpse into a world without IT governance. The backbone of our digital society has snapped, and the consequences are rippling through every industry, every home, every life. Remember that time you couldn't log into your favorite shopping app? Maybe it was just a minor inconvenience then, a few minutes lost, a little annoyance. But now it's not just your shopping that's affected. It's groceries, medicine, essentials. The digital doors are locked and no one has the key. Or when your credit card info magically ended up on the dark web. That sinking feeling of being exposed, vulnerable. Now imagine that happening to everyone, everywhere, all at once. The scale of the breach is unimaginable. These are just tiny tremors in the digital world. Annoying, yes, but manageable. We grumble, we restart, we move on. But what if those little glitches were just the warning signs of something much bigger? But what if the whole damn thing went haywire? What if every system we depend on, banking, healthcare, transportation, communication, collapsed in a single catastrophic moment? The world as we know it would grind to a halt. We live in a world increasingly reliant on technology. From the moment we wake up to the second we fall asleep, we're surrounded by devices, apps, and networks that quietly keep our lives running. From banking to healthcare, transportation to entertainment, our lives are intricately intertwined with ones and zeros. Every transaction, every message, every heartbeat of modern life is recorded, processed, and protected by digital systems. But behind this digital tapestry lies a complex web of systems, processes, and regulations, IT governance, that keeps everything running smoothly. It's the invisible force that ensures our data is safe, our services are reliable, and our world keeps spinning. Without it, we're talking full-blown digital meltdown. A world where trust evaporates, systems fail, and chaos reigns. That's why IT governance isn't just important. It's absolutely essential to the survival of our digital age. So, what exactly is IT governance? In a nutshell, it's like the traffic laws of the digital world. Just like we have rules to prevent cars from crashing into each other, IT governance provides a framework for managing and controlling IT systems. Think of it this way. You wouldn't build a house without a blueprint, would you? Similarly, you can't just cobble together a bunch of computers and software and expect them to work seamlessly. You need rules, standards, and processes to ensure that everything is aligned with your goals and objectives. Governance is not just about technology. It's about people, processes, and most importantly, making sure technology serves its purpose, making our lives easier, not driving us bonkers. When IT governance works well, it's like a well-oiled machine, humming along quietly in the background. Most of us rarely stop to think about the complex systems that keep our digital world running smoothly. The reality is, when everything is functioning as it should, IT governance becomes almost invisible, an unseen force that supports our daily lives, both at work and at home. You don't even notice it's there. Employees collaborate on projects, share files, and communicate across continents without a second thought. Families connect with loved ones through video calls, and students attend virtual classrooms, all made possible by reliable IT systems. Take online banking, for example. Today, millions of people manage their finances from the comfort of their homes, transferring money, paying bills, and checking balances with just a few taps. This convenience is something we now take for granted, but is the result of years of careful planning, security, protocols, and ongoing oversight. Remember the days of physically visiting a bank to transfer money? Long lines, paperwork, and limited banking hours were the norm. The shift to digital banking has not only saved us time, but also made financial services more accessible to people everywhere. Now you can do it with a few taps on your phone, thanks in part to robust IT governance that ensures the security of your transactions. Behind every seamless transaction, there are teams working tirelessly to protect your data, prevent fraud, and keep systems running 24/7. Or consider the healthcare industry. Electronic health records, telemedicine, and digital appointment scheduling have revolutionized patient care. Doctors can now consult with patients remotely, and nurses can update records instantly, improving both efficiency and accuracy. And remote patient monitoring. All these advancements rely heavily on effective IT governance to protect sensitive patient information. Strict regulations and advanced security measures ensure that your health data remains confidential and accessible only to authorized professionals. Even the way we design our cities is being transformed by IT governance. Urban planners now use digital tools to map out infrastructure, monitor utilities, and plan for future growth, making cities smarter and more responsive to residents' needs. Smart traffic lights that adapt to traffic flow in real time. These innovations help reduce congestion, lower emissions, and improve safety for everyone on the road. That's IT governance in action, making our cities more efficient and less congested. From the way we bank to how we receive healthcare to the very streets we travel on, effective IT governance is the silent partner that keeps our modern world moving forward. But when IT governance fails, the consequences can be catastrophic. It's not just about a few glitches or minor inconveniences. Sometimes the very foundation of a business or even a government can be shaken. In today's hyper-connected world, a single misstep in IT oversight can spiral into a full-blown crisis, impacting not just profits but people's lives and livelihoods. Remember the Target data breach a few years back? It was a wake-up call for the entire retail industry. The breach didn't just make headlines, it sent shockwaves through the business world, highlighting just how vulnerable even the biggest companies can be when their IT defenses are lacking. Hackers stole millions of credit card numbers, costing the company millions of dollars and eroding customer trust. The fallout was immense: lawsuits, regulatory scrutiny, and a long uphill battle to regain the confidence of shoppers. For many customers, the breach was a personal violation, and for Target, it was a lesson learned the hard way about the price of weak cybersecurity. That, my friends, is what happens when you skimp on cybersecurity. It's not just about installing antivirus software or running occasional updates. True IT governance means building a culture of security where every employee understands the risks and the stakes. It's about being proactive, not reactive, anticipating threats before they become disasters. Or how about the Aadhaar data leaks in India, where personal information of millions of citizens was compromised due to inadequate security measures? The breach exposed sensitive data, names, addresses, biometric details, putting millions at risk of identity theft and fraud. It wasn't just a technical failure, it was a breach of public trust on a massive scale. A stark reminder that even governments are not immune to the perils of poor IT governance. When public institutions falter, the consequences ripple far beyond the digital realm, affecting real people in their everyday lives. It's a sobering thought. The systems we rely on for everything from banking to healthcare can be brought down by a single oversight. And who can forget the T-Mobile outage that left millions without cell service for hours on end? In a world where connectivity is everything, even a few hours offline can feel like an eternity. Businesses lost sales, families lost touch, and emergency services were disrupted, all because of a failure to plan for the unexpected. A perfect example of how a lack of redundancy and disaster recovery planning can bring a company to its knees. It's not enough to hope for the best. Organizations must prepare for the worst, building systems that can withstand shocks and recover quickly when things go wrong. These are just a few high-profile examples of what can happen when IT governance goes wrong. But for every headline-grabbing disaster, there are countless smaller incidents that never make the news: lost data, stolen identities, businesses forced to close their doors. But the truth is, these failures happen every day on a smaller scale, often with devastating consequences for individuals and businesses alike. Whether it's a small business losing customer records or a family dealing with identity theft, the impact is real and lasting. That's why strong IT governance isn't just a best practice, it's a necessity in our digital age, protecting not just data, but people's futures. Now, let's talk about TOGAF, which stands for the Open Group Architecture Framework. It's not as catchy as the Avengers, but it's just as important for saving the world, the digital world that is. Think of TOGAF as a set of blueprints for building a solid IT infrastructure. It provides a structured approach to designing, planning, implementing, and governing your IT systems. Imagine trying to build a skyscraper without a plan. You'd end up with a leaning Tower of Pisa situation, and nobody wants that. TOGAF helps you avoid becoming a cautionary tale in the annals of IT history. If you want to go deeper, I've created resources that help explain governance frameworks like TOGAF, architecture principles, and implementation strategies. Check the description for links to the TOGAF toolkit and exclusive videos. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop your thoughts on whether governance should be stricter in AI and smart tech. You're watching Tech Edge. Stay smart, stay secure, and always think like an architect.